There is one question that I still get all the time, and I packed it into a little video a while ago. One of my first videos, actually, I packed this question in there, so sometimes it gets lost, so people don't know that it's there, so I'm making its own video because I get this question at least probably twice a week. It is, how did you get to where you are? How do I become a speaker, worship leader, etc., and so on and so forth. My dream was to be on ESPN and stand on sidelines and talk to football players and interview and make journalism, or be a journalist. I don't know if you make journalism, but to be a journalist. And when I was in high school, I decided to follow God in a really, really big way, and get involved in ministry at my school. And it kind of carried over into my life in college. When I was in college having a hard time, I rode my bike down the street because I wanted to do something that I knew that I loved, which was sing in church. So I sang in the church choir every Sunday for my freshman year of college, and then Ike asked me to sing at a Steubenville conference. So I did my first conference when I was 18 and, sang with Ike here and there as I studied at Arizona State. After I graduated, I was looking for a job in journalism, and a job in ministry opened up. And I took that job because I felt this calling in my heart to help reach young women, and this was at an all-girls school. Shout out to any of my girls who are watching. And I decided that was the way that I wanted to go because I fell in love with it. So I've always surrendered my gifts to God and said, God, whatever way you want me to use your gifts, I give them back to you. So people started asking me to do little talks on retreats or music on retreats. And so I started saying yes. So I started with a talk here and a talk there, and people kept calling, and I just was getting inspired to write. And so I was writing, and it just grew from there. And I had to decide to stop looking for a job in journalism and continue ministry because I really, really felt like that was what God was calling me to do. And throughout the time I said, Lord, at any point, if you want me to go in a different direction, close all these doors and I will go the other way that you want me to go. And people kept calling, and my ministry kept growing. And that has brought me to where I am today. And a lot of women say, I want to go on the track that you're on. I want to share my faith in a big way. We're all workers in a vineyard. And when you look at a vineyard like in Napa Valley, there are so many different jobs that people need to do in order to make it happen, in order to, plant the grapes and do the trees and, get the wine out there and smash the grapes and sell the wine. There are so many jobs out there. A lot of people think that it's a very glamorous life to stand on stages and be in the spotlight and hold microphones, but that's just one job in the vineyard. People think that it's very glamorous, but in reality, it is wonderful and beautiful because we were created to do that work, but it's very, very hard. And a lot of people don't see that aspect of it, the preparation, the challenge, the sacrifice that it is. Because for me, it is a big sacrifice. It's a beautiful sacrifice because my job, my ministry requires me to be away from home a lot of the time. It is very, very challenging, and it is very demanding, and it has a lot of work that people don't see. All the preparations for talks, all the booking of travel, all the figuring out, how to get a letter of good standing to the diocese. There's so many little things that go into it that are so far from glamorous, it's not even funny at all. It's crazy. But I don't mind it, and I love it, and I thrive in it, but because it's what God created me to do. Someone who was not created to do what I do would absolutely be totally miserable because it is very hard work. It's really hard work, and if this is not someone's vocation, they would be totally miserable. The thing is, though, we need more women doing what I do because I go to so many events, and there's 4 men talking or singing or whatever, and then there's me, one girl, and it's really, really hard. It's a hard reality, but we need more women doing this. But we need women doing this who God is calling to do it. We need women doing this who aren't looking to do it to be known and to be loved and to be acclaimed, because that's not what I'm doing it for at all. I do this so that people could know how much Christ loves them. We need authentic women who have a voice, who have been raised up by their community and raised up by the Lord to do this kind of work. Not everyone's going to do this kind of work, and even if you have the desire to do this work, it's not necessarily what you're going to do. The work that you and I need to do is to love our neighbor and say yes to God in what we discern that He is calling us to do. If doors are not opening for us to do those things, it's probably not what He wants us to do. But that doesn't mean that one job in the vineyard is less important than the other job. They all need to come together and to happen in order to make the vineyard of the Lord work. So if being a speaker or a musician or something to that effect is something you want to do, create and love the Lord and love your neighbor and just work in the vineyard and say yes to what God wants you to do in your life. If He wants you to stand on stages and speak or stand on stages and play music, He will get you there, but only with an authentic heart and love for Him and just authentic love for His people and authentic willingness and desire to lead people to Christ. Ask God what He wants you to do. Surrender your gifts back to Him, and He will take that and just grow it in the way that He wants to grow it. Whether that's you just loving your neighbor next to you, in the house next to you, or being able to speak to many people or play your music for many people. Like, God's got it. And He knows what He wants you to do. And that's different for everyone. And we need to rejoice in that. And we need to celebrate that. So that's the long answer. There is no secret to becoming a speaker or musician or anything like what I do. The secret is to pray, do the will of God, and ask Him to reveal where He wants you to use your gifts on whatever plane, place, in whatever church that may be. He's got big things planned for your life, whether that's to reach 1 or 5,000 people. I guarantee you that. So love God, love others. Everything will follow from there. All right, talk to you soon. Bye.